It's already happening. Already fully present as that very life that God is. And this makes me feel happy and joyous. So grateful for all the hearts and hands that serve and all the hearts and hands that are here to support this beautiful and amazing organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. So it is with a grateful heart that I release this prayer into that perfect universal law that only knows yes. Yes, 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 my beloved, yes. I stand in that place of yes, the place I lovingly call grace, as we all say together. So it is. Thank you, beloveds.
Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful people. I love you too. It is a blessing and an honor to be here and to start a business meeting. We're going to fertilize this atmosphere. But you have to do it with me, okay? I just ask that you sing with me. And I'll tell you what, it's super easy. It's kind of a prayer, a musical prayer. I am here. I am here. I am here. Think about it. I am here. I am here. Love is here. Love is here. Love is here. Love is here. You sound so beautiful. Love is here. Hear that? Love is here. How about joy is here? Talking about the business meeting, joy is here. Joy is here. Joy is here. Peace is here. Peace is here. Peace is here. I heard grace in the prayer, so let's add that. Grace is here. Grace is here. Back to I am here. I am here. I am here. You're about to embark. I am here. You're about to embark on something beautiful for the Centers for Spiritual Living. So bring your best beauty. I am here. I am here. I am here. Do we have any harmonizers in the room? I am here. Yeah, I hear you. I hear that. I am here. more time. And so it is.
Good morning. Oh, wow, it's so wonderful to see all of you here. My name is Ty Minkler. I have the privilege of serving you all as the Home Office Executive Director. And I'm here to start. Thank you. I have the honor to start the business meeting part 1. And I just want to, before I do that, before I forget, Spanish version available. Copies, James Peak was able to drive here and brought 50 copies. So if you want to have one in your library, please, they're on the table at the hub, CSL table. So please make yourself take one home and have that in your library. Okay, so we probably don't need a day and a half business meeting. So we've cut it down, but that's not to diminish all of the work that's done by the committees and behind the scenes folks, but we tried to slim it down to make it just the core essential. So today, just now this morning, we'll have presentations by what I think of as the forward-facing departments at the CSL Home Office. And so without further ado, let me have Nan Bankston come to the stage. Nan is our Senior Director of Global Support Services and just a wonderful, wonderful person. So take it away.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darrell. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, buenos dias, familia. For those who are elsewhere, I had to put that in there. I'm not on yet? Okay, Ryan, Aaron, let me know. Is it working now? Oh, dear God. Houston, we have liftoff. So I'm going to go ahead and start this over again because I want to say hello to all of you again from my team and myself and everybody that is out in the other areas of our communities. Buenos dias, familia. And my beloved Blanca, that one's for you, as well as everybody else out there. So I'm really excited. I got to get my little thingy here. I forgot about that. You know, you can't do here it is. All right. So I just want to introduce my team because it's important. And in our Global Support Services team, I have Rebecca Harioka, who is our Global Programs Director, and Blanca, who's our Global Program Specialist. These are all in alphabetical order. There's no preference here. Meredith Itu is our newest addition to our staff. She's our Global Support Services Coordinator, and she has been really, really important in helping us do some of the things that we needed to have done. Is a real great addition as a part-time person. Reverend Susan Overland is our programs manager, and she does a whole lot of things that all of you probably know about, and you'll know more later, I promise you. And then we have Linda Summers, who has been doing our practitioner programs for many, many years, and she is outstanding in what she does. Michelle Scavetta is our youth director and teen camp director, and she's an amazing being also. She couldn't be here, Linda couldn't be here, and Meredith couldn't be here. Rebecca can't be here because she's at her brother's wedding, so we wanted to have her have a good time with that. I can't just talk about my team because we are part of home office staff, and it's our entire home office team that does everything. So I have to recognize everybody, and you'll get to see some of them in some of the presentations, and some of them you won't. But everybody works together, and I just can't say enough, and I just love them all, and they are so good at what they do. I work with such a group of professional people and great hearts, I can't begin to tell you. And we're so happy to be able to be in service to all of you out in communities, ministers, practitioners, communities, everybody. Thank you for letting us serve you. So, so I have to say that I always like to do the numbers because everybody wants to know, we all got to know what numbers are. So I did a little 2024 and 2025. I'm going to let you just read those because I've only got 10 minutes. And so we have currently in 25, we have 824, we had 824 active ministers. We actually licensed new minister school of spiritual leadership, 21 ministers last year, and we had ordinations number 17. This year, we project that we're going to have at least 11 new, well, we already have 11 new ministers in January, and we have 30 plus ordinations coming up. And as you heard last night, we're going to have about 7 Latin American ordinations this summer. So I'm really proud of that. Our practitioners, we have 2,000, well, we now have 2,500, over 2,500 practitioners, just so you know the latest numbers. We licensed 74 practitioners last year, and we had a total of 438 emeritus practitioners at the end of the year. So now we expect to license 76 additional practitioners, new practitioners in June this year. And I like this slide because everybody says that our centers are closing and nobody's doing anything and it's going to go away. Well, we aren't going away. Just forget about that. We have 220 centers in 2025. And the reason the number is slightly different is because some of the centers changed to teaching centers. So we had more teaching centers in 2025 than we did in 2024. We have more focused ministries. We have study groups, and we have, the teaching chapters that they are the only affiliation that we have that a licensed practitioner can be the spiritual director of. And they serve a very, very fine purpose in the communities that either become that from a practitioner who's called to serve, or they change from being a center to a teaching chapter to accommodate their community. I just want to say just a couple of things about our accomplishments, because sometimes you don't get to hear all that, and sometimes they're kind of diffuse and you think we're sitting there. We're just waiting to do something. Every day I turn my computer on and I'm thinking, dang, I hope somebody calls me today or send me an email. I don't care. Send me an email. And along that line, this is for Dr. Soni. She said, why don't you ever talk about the emails that y'all get? And I said, well, I don't know. To me, it's just another number. She said, just talk about it, would you? And I said, sure. Well, last year, and it's going to be on a sheet that's going to be on our CSL or on csl.org. That's now going to be an info sheet there. Last year, my team handled over 106,000 emails. Now, I personally, and this is a bizarre number, believe me. I personally handle between 5,500 and 6,500 emails a month. So if it takes me a minute to get back to you, just a minute, hold on, I'll be getting to you, I promise. But besides all that, we have lots of meetings, and we had like over 185 meetings last year, and I don't remember any of them, but I'm sure somebody does. And now we get to the real stuff. So one of the things that I am most proud of from last year is that in February last year, we developed and established the specialty professional licensure for the interim ministers program. So now our interim minister team is now professionally licensed as interim ministers. And there is a program for that development for people to take educational classes and to become interim ministers. Not everyone is called to that, but I am very, very happy to say that all of our ministers are now professionally licensed to our interims. It gives legitimacy to a very, very valuable community support system. We also, in February, combined field services with global programs, and we expanded our regional areas to separate Africa, Europe, and Asia. And just a month or two ago, we made a new region, region number 16. Oh, my mouth is so dry. Sorry. We expanded it, and we now have the Caribbean. Yeah. I know I've got 2 minutes left, and I'm going to hurry. You're not supposed to be drinking on the stage, but I'm doing it. So we also supported more than two dozen communities through transformation and change that provided continued growth and thriving for them. These were communities that lost their minister for various reasons, and they were supported in finding new ministers, having an interim minister placed, and so they were able to continue to grow and find new ministers to serve in their communities. And that's a time-consuming work because it's the right things at the right time that make it all come together. We also, and I am grateful to Reverend Susan Overland for this one, we have reestablished the chaplaincy endorsement and town hall community connections for chaplains. And there's going to be a brochure out at the hub table, and you can take a look at that. And so those are the highlights of some of the little things that we did last year. So, and now I'll be out at the hub table. If you have questions or, don't email me, just say hi. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We'll be all right. And now I've got just a few seconds left. And again, I want to thank all of you before I introduce Rebecca Harioka, who is our Global Programs Director. And she's got a special video message for y'all.
Hello, community. It's so good to be with you. My name is Rebecca Hiraoka, and I am the Director of Global Programs for CSL. We are a program that lives within and partners with the Global Support Services Department, and we're so grateful for them. I work with the exceptional Blanca Mejia, Spiritual Director from Mexico, who is our Global Support Specialist, and she and I work on global programs. We partner heavily with the Global Outreach Committee. Thank you to all of those volunteers who just have such a passion for serving the global community. Now, the scope of our program, we serve communities, CSL communities and individuals that are outside of the US. And then we also work on promoting cross-cultural and global competency and lens all across the organization. So we work directly with communities and individuals in other countries, and we also work with home office staff, the various teams. We work with councils and committees, regional support coordinators, in having conversations and offering support around what it means to work globally, because we are a global organization, and we hold in our program that our principles are universal, but how we understand them is very cultural. And there are things that we're not going to know about our principles until we understand them through many different cultural lenses, which is exciting and is really a lot of the gift of this work. One of our main projects of the last year was called the Global Lens, and Blanca and I designed it with support from Rev Nan and GSS. And its focus is to help our home office staff and then also regional support coordinators to work globally, to understand what it is to be in cross-cultural communication, that there are different communication styles that are predominant in various regions of the world, that many of the misunderstandings we may have are cross-cultural misunderstandings, that there are ways to think about translation and interpretation that transcend just a literal translation, that we need to be interpreting content for cultural appropriateness and relevance as well. So that's a lot of what we've been up to, is really focusing on this conversation and then supporting communities, supporting translation projects, always looking at what it means to hopefully build more translation and interpretation in as we move forward. World Ministry of Prayer is also housed within GSS, within global programs. And our World Ministry of Prayer team is amazing. Thank you to all of those volunteers, our phone team, our email team, our social media. They are available to pray with people every day of the year. And it's a huge gift that CSL offers, and they're an extraordinary team. So that is a lot of the work we're doing. We are in conversation conceptually about how to work globally and then also really tangibly. For example, we help set parity rates and help communities think about parity rates if you're offering things globally, which essentially means that we offer rates that that are adjusted to make sense for what cost of living is in various countries, how much people are making. And so thinking about all those things is a big piece of our work. I don't want to bore you with too many statistics, but I do want to give you a little bit of info about where we are. CSL is in 23 countries, exciting. And the predominant countries that we're in, which really means these are the countries where we have the most people or communities right now, but there's growth in other countries too, are Kenya, Mexico, Ukraine, Peru, Jamaica, and the United States and Canada. We have 11% of our practitioners outside the US in 26 countries. 12% of our ministers or spiritual directors outside the US in 10 countries. And the languages that are represented in CSL primarily are English, Spanish, Russian, Swahili, and Ukrainian. And one of our projects for the coming year is to get clearer on other emerging linguistic needs. We are so grateful to be in this work. We hope you have a wonderful convention. And if you're interested in joining us in this work or you have questions, please contact me and Blanca. You can reach us at our emails. My email is rhiraoka@csl.org, and Blanca's email is bmeJia@csl.org. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Schlut. I am the Director of Philanthropy for Centers for Spiritual Living and the Science of Mind Foundation. And it is really just a great pleasure to be with you today. I've had a chance to speak with so many of you already, and please feel free to continue to stop me in the hall if you have any questions, especially if you have any questions after my presentation today. So the Development Department oversees all the center committed giving. It manages all donations and monetary gifts. It works with constituents interested in placing CSL in their planned giving. And of course, I collaborate with all of our other CSL departments to inspire giving to the CSL Global Home Office. So our center committed giving, our most important source of funds to operate home office. Each of the CSL centers are unique and have a wonderful story to tell about their work, to inspire and lead people in living each day according to our science of mind principles. It is through this inspired work of centers that people joyously give funds to support their center. The center takes a portion of these funds and then gives them to CSL Global Home Office so that it can administer and oversee all aspects of international office administration and oversee everything that goes on that we do at home office. Our individual donors, I get a lot of questions on the individual donors to our home office. The most asked is, where do they come from? So, as you know, our magazine has a very wide selection of people who receive that. Many of the people who receive our magazine do not have a community. And so when they want to tithe, when they want to give, they give to home office as their community. The magazine is what inspires them because they don't have a center nearby. They give to home office. So those are the individual donors who do give to us, and they support us quite well through their tithing. Planned giving. This is really important to us at our home office, and I hope it's important to you in your centers because planned giving is such a great way to leave a legacy to either your center or to home office. And so I would like to say at this point that I am very happy to meet with you to help you begin a program in your center if you would like to do that. Through the Science of Mind Foundation and the staff that is there, we can help with printing or doing a brochure for you to help for you to begin a plan giving program in your center and just help you really nourish that program so that all of the people who come to your center will understand how important it is to leave something behind and help that center to grow. So collaborative work. Fundraising is accomplished by all of the staff at home office. I would love to say that I do everything. I certainly don't. I absolutely just coordinate what is going on there. We all work together to bring monetary gifts to a place where we can all benefit through them. I'm coming up on 8 years at home office, and I feel so blessed to be working with such a great spiritual organization. And so I want to thank each of you, ministers, practitioners, and laity, for the privilege of working with you at home office. You are a great group of people. You really are. And I'm always inspired when I come to these events, as I know that you are too. And today I'd like to just say a little bit something about 18 spectacular centers that we have. We call these our super centers, and we call them that because they are the centers who pledged and then went well beyond that pledge to home office. I would like to read those centers to you now. Please hold your applause till I get to the end of these centers. Center for Spiritual Living Olympia, AHIA Center for Spiritual Living Pasadena, Center for Spiritual Living East Hawaii, Center for Spiritual Living Palm Springs, Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma, the Center of Peace Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral, Greater Orlando Center for Spiritual Living, Silicon Valley Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, Center for Spiritual Living Reno, Heart and Soul Center of Light, Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley, Center for Spiritual Living Dallas, Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living Capistrano Valley, Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living Bonita. Please join me in giving a round of applause to these centers. So, I always like to say a little bit about fundraisers. I know as ministers, you are all fundraisers. You have to be to keep your centers alive. And I always joke with people that fundraisers are very much like a virus. They come on really strong when they're running a campaign or when they're doing something. Very, very strong, just like a virus hits you. When you really want to worry about a fundraiser is when you don't hear from them. Because what's happening is they are in the background and they're mutating. They're mutating just like a virus does. They're coming up with new ways to fundraise, new ways to bring in those funds to you. So I just wanted to say to you that when you hear from us a lot, don't worry about it. But when you don't hear from us, you need to be very, very worried about that. Obviously, I'll be around for the rest of the conference. This is the last day you will see me with a sport coat on. You will probably be able to spot me through the rest of the conference walking around in cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. I grew up in a rural part of Colorado, and that is what I feel most comfortable in. So please, when you see the hat, stop me. I would love to meet each and every one of you. And if you have any questions about a planned giving program for your own center, please do not hesitate to call on me for that. And it is at this point that I have the great privilege of bringing to the stage Reverend Ryan Alexander.
I should have brought my own stool. Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Ryan Alexander, and my pronouns are they, them, and I'm the Senior Director of Education for Centers for Spiritual Living and the Director of the School of Spiritual Leadership. Thank you. I do a few things. I have the absolute joy of being part of an incredible team because it takes a lot of folks to keep me straight. What fun. Yeah. So I want to introduce some of our team. We have Reverend Dan Granda, Reverend Breeze Martin Swan, Dar Hertford, Amber Davidson, and Reverend Lauren Martin. And they could not be here, but they are all watching. So I want everyone to turn around and wave. This is the crew holding, shaping, evolving, and dreaming into what education looks like across our organization. And it is truly an honor to work with them, and it is truly an honor to work and serve each and every one of you. So I want to see a show of hands. Who has ever taken a certificated course? Just a few. I didn't say put your hand down. Thank you, thank you. Who's ever taken a professional development course? Mm-hmm. Who's ever taken a ministerial class? Just a few. Who's ever been part of a spiritual living circle? Okay. Who's ever taught a class? There's more hands. Look around for just a moment. Yeah. Here is our shared truth. Every single person in this room has been shaped by CSL education in some way, some form or fashion. Not just some of us, but all of us. In fact, our entire movement was built on this idea that we learn spiritual principles and then we live them. So today I want to set the tone real clear. Education is not a side program. It's not an add-on. It's not something we do in addition to something else. It is literally the foundation of who we are as a movement and an organization. Ernest Holmes wasn't just a teacher. He was a synthesizer of wisdom, a gatherer of truth across traditions, philosophy, and sciences. And what he created, the science of mind, is not just a body of knowledge. It is an educational philosophy at its core. Because Holmes understood something very powerful, probably a few things very powerful. But what he understood was that information alone does not transform lives. Transformation happens when ideas are practiced, when principles become embodied, and when learning becomes a lived experience. And that is the heart of our teaching. We're just not here to know something. We're here to become something. And so today, education is that container that holds so much of what we care about in this organization and in this movement. It holds spiritual depth. It holds leadership development. It holds community impact. It meets people exactly where they are and then gently invites them into growth. Education is how we train our leaders. It's how we support our communities. And it's how we engage in a ever-changing world. It's alive, it's responsive, it's evolving. At the core of everything we do is spiritual development. Because leadership, service, community, all of it flows from that foundation. In education, we are creating experiences that deepen awareness, embodiment, and integrity. We're not just teaching principles, but we are supporting people and how to actually live them in their relationships, in work, in their decision-making, in our communities. So here's where we're growing in education. We are committed to developing curriculum that reflects real lived experience, not abstract spirituality, but spirituality in action. And to that end, we are expanding access through a new spiritual enrichment program, creating pathways for people outside of CSL to step in, to explore, to connect, because transformation should be accessible to all. Now, spiritual development is essential, but it's not the whole picture. Are you waiting to hear the next thing? It's not the whole picture. We are called to lead in complex real-world communities and environments. So our professional development program, which is part of our education program, bridges that gap. We are equipping practitioners, ministers, and leaders in our communities with tangible skills, ethics, communication, systems thinking, adaptive leadership, restorative practices in our communities. Because consciousness and competency together create sustainable impact. And this is not a one-time thing. Sorry to tell you, not a one-time experience, but this is an ongoing formation, an ongoing participation. And we are committed to creating learning that continues to evolve, bringing in the best practices, fresh ideas, and innovative approaches so that our leaders are not just prepared, but actually thriving in their communities. So let's talk about spiritual living circles for just a moment. Because learning doesn't just happen in the classroom or the Zoom room or the Zoom little square thing. I have to say, I'm so glad that everyone has bodies because I've just seen heads for so long. So it's good to see the whole picture. Someone said I wasn't as tall as they thought. This is what I got to work with. So learning doesn't just happen in classrooms, it happens in relationship. And so our spiritual living circles, which are part of our education program, are powerful expressions of education in community. They create accessible entry points into our philosophy. They foster belonging and connection. And at the same time, they cultivate leaders. Because when people are in circles, they're just not receiving, but they're participating. They're reflecting, they're growing together. So that this education feels human, feels relational, alive. And it really is deeply shaping the culture of our communities, not just in the US, but all over the world with 118 spiritual living circles worldwide. And then we have the School of Spiritual Leadership. Yeah. Now this is where we're preparing the future of CSL. Ministers and leaders who are spiritually grounded and culturally and socially responsive, who can navigate complexity, who can serve both in their communities and in the world around them. And we are evolving We are expanding into new certificate programs in the School of Spiritual Leadership, creating opportunities not just for ministers, but for community leaders, for members who feel called to this deeper spiritual leadership. Because the truth of it is, the future of CSL depends on prepared, conscious, and capable leaders. And education is how we get there. You can clap. Yeah. At the end of the day, education is how we live our global vision. Not just speak it, not just read it, not just believe it sometimes when it's comfortable, but how we actually embody it and live it. And learning is how we evolve individually and collectively. And I think we know a person who was all about evolving. Ernest Holmes, right? So here's my invitation to you. See education, not just the high level, but in your communities, as not just something to be offered, but as something that we all participate in. A shared responsibility, a shared opportunity to keep learning, to keep teaching, and most importantly, to keep living the science of mind. Thank you. And now I have the great honor to introduce the wonderful, the lovely, just the fabulous Holly Sharp, who is the Senior Director of Publishing and Marketing.
Hello, everyone in Reno. Together, enjoy. My name is Holly Sharp, and I can't be with you, but I'm literally in a cloud here to present to you the Science of Mind magazine, publishing, marketing, and public relations update. First, I'd like to introduce you to the amazing team that's dedicated to serving you. We have Carrie Johnson, our longtime publishing business manager, Stephanie Finney, CSL's marketing manager, who also oversees social media and book publishing, Matthew Taylor, who is the associate editor of Science of Mind magazine. Matthew also works on events and marketing, so you will see Matthew's smiling face at the convention. Reverend Chris Alexander and Dr. Louise Talon are the part-time global themes coordinators and co-leads. They oversee a writing team and all the content for our annual global themes. And I am Holly Sharp. I've been with the organization for 12 years. I am the editor and creative director of Science of Mind magazine. I'm also the person who gets to work with this amazing team and oversee marketing, publishing, and public relations. I want to start this update with the state of our beloved magazine, which is in its 99th year of continuous publication. Our monthly print subscription base is about 10,000, which is low. And you may remember last year at this time, we were considering a partnership with Unity Publishing, after which we discovered some technical systematic stuff going on with our renewal system. And we had a record-setting revenue month in September of last year. In 2025, thanks to your generosity, we raised an additional $48,000 in online donations to support magazine operations. The magazine is still just $4.08 a month for 160 printed pages. We have a challenge for all of you. Our goal this year is to reach 1,000 new subscribers. It's a nationwide challenge inspired by our 2026 spiritual heroes, the monks of Hung Dao Temple in Fort Worth, Texas, who completed their 2,300-mile walk for peace this year. The monks will be featured on the cover of the December 2026 magazine, as is our tradition. Now I'd like to paint a picture of the magazine's impact for you. This testimonial is from Tammy Tack, who's a longtime subscriber and a leader of one of our spiritual living circles. So Tammy wrote in, and I won't read this verbatim, but the magazine helped me get out of a place where I felt powerless and stuck and carried me into hope. Thank you for all you do to keep this magazine alive and growing. It is what I reach for when I am in despair or in need of direction. For those of us who live far from a center, it is a lifeline, and we appreciate it more than we can say. One of our most powerful and impactful outreach opportunities is the Incarcerated Persons Ministry. We're currently serving 170 people with subscriptions to the magazine. Here are 2 testimonials from incarcerated men in Texas. Joe writes, "Thank you for all that you are and all that you do. The world so desperately needs what you offer." And Tim says, "I recently discovered your magazine in a Texas prison. Someone left it on the table for anyone to grab. I am in the process of finding my purpose and have found your magazine to be very uplifting, encouraging, and informative." I want to continue our story of impact with our 2 most viewed posts from Facebook. The magazine's Facebook has more than 480,000 friends. The top viewed post was our spiritual hero, Robin Wall Kimmerer, with almost 18,000 views. What this says to me is that our community welcomed a return to our spiritual roots and to the lessons of nature, the truth of existence, and our inherent symbiosis. Kimmerer's teachings are extremely popular to a secular audience and in complete alignment with Science of Mind. Our second most viewed posts were 3 photos of Ernest Holmes to launch our October anniversary edition, seen 6,495 times. Our audience still finds the wisdom of Holmes a differentiator, the legacy of the magazine to be compelling and inspirational. Every year, these posts are some of our most viewed, liked, and shared. And our most shared post of 2025 was a Happy Hanukkah post with 207 shares. Our audience gravitates to inclusive, uplifting content that honors all faith paths. The message is clear. We need more light in our world, and CSL and the magazine shine brightly through our spiritual principles. Now I'm going to take you into an update on CSL marketing and public relations. Continuing the story of our global impact, we're working on new websites at csl.org and scienceofmind.com. We started with visioning to get grounded. Now we're working with the CSL directors. We're also expanding our social media strategy for TikTok and YouTube. Looking across CSL social media platforms, excluding Science of Mind magazine and the others listed at the bottom of this page, we were seen 787,000 times. The CSL platforms have almost 29,000 followers. CSL's most shared and most viewed post from Facebook was a prayer for Southern California from Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith, our spiritual leader. It was viewed 14,000 times and shared 170. Our audience seeks to provide loving support to those in need. Our spiritual leader sets a powerful and inclusive tone for this kind of outreach. Our second most viewed post was from the opening night of SOAR 2025 in Banff with almost 6,000 views. As you know, SOAR is a treasured spiritual retreat, and our community longs for in-person connection, spiritual growth, and expansive opportunities and beautiful destinations. To continue celebrating our reach, I want to call out that our semi-monthly emails for both CSL and the magazine were opened in more than 500,000 inboxes last year. You can see the stats here, but I want to call out that we sent a total of 1.4 million emails opened by nearly 518,000 people. You can scan the QR code to subscribe to one or all 3 of our free newsletters. I also want to point out another powerful outreach tool, statements from our spiritual leader, Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith. For example, her recent statement, organizational response to Deepak Chopra, appearing in the Epstein files. It was posted in February with 619 overwhelmingly positive comments. It was shared 687 times with a total reach of 4,700. You can find and download other statements from Dr. Soni at csl.org, including her response to military action in Iran and how CSL stands with our immigrant and transgender families. We'll be celebrating 100 years of supporting people in personal and global transformation in 2027, so just around the corner. As you can see here, we have a lot of things planned, including an 11-part retrospective by Jesse Jennings in the magazine. We're going to do a centennial celebration during SOAR at Asilomar. Our global themes will honor both our legacy and our future. And we're going to offer a reproduction of the first magazine with supplemental content by decade. So how can you continue to support us as you so beautifully do? We don't have merchandise at the convention because now we just do print on demand, but you can go shopping online anytime at the CSL shop. We have fresh merchandise that Stephanie has designed, the Member Council Affirmations app, our CSL Book Corner, and so much more. Please check it out. If you want to support us, you can also scan the blue code on the left to learn more about the magazine, or you can scan the code in orange to visit csl.org and see everything we're up to. All of our social media accounts are linked on our websites. We're also on Substack and Blue Sky. Just search for Science of Mind magazine. If you have any questions or feedback, I always welcome them. Please give me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a wonderful experience in Reno. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I'm back. This is my chance to do a little bragging on the team. As you heard from all of them, it's an incredible team, and they work well together. I have to say too that I didn't hire any of them. I've worked with a lot of teams over the years, and I've had good teams, but this is an amazing team. So credit where credit's due. Michelle Ariano. She didn't hire all of them, but she is the one that put this team together ultimately. So hats off to her. So James, so we tried to have forward facing, as I say, departments that are actively with our communities. James Peak, though, is an essential member of our team. As you know, he was in the education department before, stepped into the director of IT more recently, and he's just done a wonderful job helping us standardize forms and personally helped me professionalize our committed giving, community giving links. We've gone through several iterations, and now it's really, I think, a great ACH process. If you're interested in doing that, we can automate that now, and that's a huge help to us. He's also been instrumental in teaching us some technology, addressing the technology issues for the home office, and of course, he'll be having a security session here today if you're interested in hearing more about that. Brian Alexander has stepped into the education department after a rather bit of change. When I joined, there were 4 education departments, and there's probably history to that, but we don't need 4 different departments for education. So we did consolidate, simplify, and Ryan's done a good job of helping bring that all together. And of course, that included the closure of the Home Institute, which involved a bit of change as well. So I'm grateful to all that they have done. They have revised and updated a number of courses, and really more importantly, set up a process to keep classes updated, even though they have a very small team. Michael Schlut, as you heard, is our director of development, but he's also the executive director of the Science Mind Foundation. So he wears two big hats, and he makes it look easy. He has also been instrumental, boots on the ground in our sale of the building. Some of you don't know that, but he was there along with James Peak to help manage some of the physical aspects of getting that building sold. So I'm very grateful to him for that. He's also helped me create the Evergreen Fund and works with the Resource Development Committee to make that happen. Holly Sharp, whom you just heard, wasn't able to join us because her fur baby was sick and actually passed away last week. So she has an excuse this time. But she said 12 years. I think she told me before 13. I think 13 years this month. So she's our veteran and now rightfully owns the title of magazine mom. She has really guided the resurgence, and she gives the credit to her team all the time. But really, she has held this. She held it together. So again, she's seen a lot of change. When she joined, there were 10 full-time equivalent people running the magazine, and they weren't doing all the marketing that they're doing now today in social media. And now they're down to essentially 3 full-time equivalent people. And still, it's a beautiful magazine. So Mary Lindsay, you heard her last night. She has been behind the scenes, as she said last night, helping Michelle when she came on board. But she has been amazing, helping us standardize contracts and employment agreements and that kind of thing. But now, today, stepping into this director of events, she has saved us $67,000 on this event. And although we don't have the final numbers, it looks like we are going to make a little bit of money on this event. So thank you all. And thanks to Mary for making that possible. She has done an amazing job with events. And then Nan. I love Nan. She brings such amazing business acumen along with her ministerial heart, helping us organize and professionalize our outreach and global support services. She developed a specialty professional license program for the interim ministers, which really helps us professionalize that. She artfully combined with Rebecca global services and why am I blanking? Global services and field services, yeah. So it's now global support services, and it was a very logical thing to do, and they did a beautiful job making that happen. She has helped us revise the affiliation agreement, which I hope some of you will comment on as we meet later about that. And hopefully you all got our draft on that, and Nan's been helpful in bringing that home. So let's hear it for the Dream Team. I'm so grateful to all of them. And all of them are amazing. Yeah. Thank you. You are well served. So now let's take a 10-minute stretch. The rest of the team. Thank you.
Just letting you all know that we will be back here in 2 minutes, and it is not lunchtime yet. More to come here before you get to eat.
We're going to ask everyone to return to their seats now, please. We're getting ready to begin again. It's time to begin the rest of our first part of our business meeting. If everyone would come back and return to their seats, please. Can we make an announcement for Miranda? Can we make an announcement in the gathering space somehow? Because they're not going to hear me. Please come in and return to your seats. I know. Is anyone really loud that wants to go out there and yell for everyone to come back in? We have ministers here. A minister, maybe? Yes, thank you. Ryan's a minister. That'll work. Okay, so thank you for coming back. Everyone got really excited about the food out there. It's not quite time for lunch. It will be ready after we're done with this short little part, and then you can go out there and enjoy all that wonderful buffet and the desserts and all the goodies that we have waiting for you. As I mentioned last night, I'm your director of events, but guess what? I'm also your director of HR. Who doesn't think of events in HR? When you think of one, you think of the other, right? Makes total sense. So I don't have my drummer here. I think that goes without saying why, but but anyway, I wanted to come up briefly and mention to you that we actually have 2 part-time positions open at home office. You saw what an amazing staff we have here, how much fun we have, that we're living in joy. And so I thought it would be a perfect time to share these opportunities with you. They are budget neutral, just so you know. We work really hard to keep things budget neutral. And so there's 2 part-time positions. The first one, as you all know, last night you met Matthew back in the corner. Matthew works with me on events, but also Matthew works part-time with Holly in publishing. And so Holly and I had to duke it out, and Holly won. So Matthew's gonna move to publishing full-time to work on the magazine, which means there's an opportunity to work with me. Yay! That's right. It's a part-time position. It's as events administrator. And it's a lot of administration work, you know, budgeting, contracts, working with vendors, but it's a lot of fun and you get to go to the events. Yay. So that's a part-time 20-hour-a-week position. And then we have another part-time 20-hour-a-week position with the education department and Reverend Ryan. It's for a curriculum specialist. So you kind of need to know a little bit about our teachings in order to help write that curriculum. So if you think that's you for either of those, go to our website, click careers at the very top. There's the full job descriptions for both. You can read those. And then if you want to apply, it's very simple. Go to hr@csl.org and submit your resume there and a cover letter and put the position that you're applying for in the subject line. So we hope that you all will be really excited about this convention and just want to be a part of our team. And now I would like to welcome the wonderful, our Leadership Council Chair, Dr. Deborah Gordon.
All righty. So I have had the privilege of actually having a class way back when, I won't tell you how long ago, with Raymond Charles Barker. And one of his favorite things was when it was time to come back from the break, he would say, coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. I see there's a lot of people not coming back, but this is okay. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. So it's time for a few more updates. And now these, we're going to hear from our Centers for Spiritual Living councils. So our member council will start us off. This will be followed by the Practitioner Council, our Minister Council, and then we're going to wrap up with the Nominating Council. And so I just want to take a moment to really feel in my heart of gratitude for all of these people who are volunteers who contribute so very, very much to our greater organization. And so at this time, I get to bring up Robert Leeds representing the Member Council.
Don't hold back. Wait, where's my clicker? I thought someone stole my clicker. Hi, everybody. It's great to be with you here in Reno. Last night, while I was waiting for the elevator to go back up to my room, there was a family with young children, and the mom noticed I was wearing my badge, and she asked me about the convention. And I told her a little bit about it, and she said, "You all seem so happy." And I said, "Yeah, CSL, baby." I didn't actually call her baby. I'm Robert Leeds. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm here to talk about the member council. And I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast. And since I'm a former New York Jew, that is within my skill set. So the member council represents a general membership, giving members a voice in the organization and providing them with information and resources that enhance their personal engagement with their spiritual community. Our vision is an expansive, heart-centered, connected community, creating positive transformation. Our mission is to be a resource that engages individuals and ignites, strengthens, and supports spiritual community growth. Our purpose is to empower and unite our spiritual movement. Here is our team. We reach from the West Coast all the way to the East and up into Canada. I am at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where I've been for 20 years. I'm one of the co-chairs. Yay, Oakland. Oakland is represented in the House. Zita Johnson-Betts is at CSL Common Ground in Maryland, and she is my co-chair. Eileen Kennedy is at Mile High Church in Colorado. Kathy Matthews, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Eileen Proctor, Let It Out. Eileen Proctor, Triangle Center in North Carolina, and Chris Grayson Diamond from San Jose, CSL. One creation of the member council is the CSL Daily app, which provides an uplifting affirmation for every day of the year. We take the global themes and the Sunday affirmations that are provided and build on those to create daily affirmations that are in alignment with the weekly themes. You can find the apps for Android or Apple at shop.csl.org. There's a one-time fee of $9.99. Come on, that's just a little more than one Venti caramel macchiato. And the app won't make you jittery. Once you buy it, you never have to pay again. It updates every month in perpetuity. Here we are at SOAR. We had a wonderful member gathering at the SOAR in Banff last summer. And we had activities focused on the themes of revelation, restoration, and grace. We hold a monthly member forum, which is an opportunity for members to have a voice, express their views, and connect with members from across the country. Look for our announcements in the CSL newsletter and also on our CSL Connection Facebook page. Our next forum is going to be April 23rd. It's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and our topic will be play as a spiritual practice. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that many, if not most of the members in your centers have no idea that the member council exists or what it is. That was certainly true of me until I was invited by Robin Rice Olmsted, she's out there somewhere, that I was invited by Robin to apply to be on the council 3 years ago. Even though I'd been attending a CSL for almost 20 years, I had no knowledge of it at all. That's why this year we are rolling out gradually an outreach program to connect with centers and support them in expanding their members' awareness that they are part of a global family who believe in individual transformation, collective growth, and creating a world that works for everyone. We're starting locally, depending on where our council members live, and we'll expand from there. But if you want to reach out and connect with us about this before that, please send us an email at cslmembercouncil@gmail.com. Finally, here's our contact information. We also have a Facebook page that I mentioned called the CSL Member Connection. I want to invite all members who are here to join us tomorrow morning from 7:30 to 8:30 for a meet and greet. I know it's early. Bring your coffee and a donut. We have an updated brochure like this. It's available out at the CSL Hub, and I'll also have more at the meet and greet. Those new brochures will also be available at the CSL Hub. Oh, I mentioned that. And we will be making an electronic version available for all the centers so that you can download it and use it, for example, at your new member orientations. So thank you so much. Have a great time at the convention. And Linda Jackson from Chicago, find me during lunch. Next up is Wendy and Sharon from the Practitioner Council.
The clicker.
Oh, what beautiful faces. And aren't we just honored to be here? We're also honored to be representative of our beautiful practitioners that I know hold the light of consciousness in our community. And I just am honored to represent not only them, but the movement as a whole to uplift the world. But as a council in the practitioners, where's the, oh, it's over here. Oh, yeah. Got to remind us who we are. My name's Wendy Condi, and I'm out of Salt Lake. And I'm here with my co-chair, Sharon Wheely, out of Tucson. Want to introduce the rest of our council members, which would be Lynn Daniels, Deborah Ellis, Deborah Gale, Deborah Perdue.
3 Deborahs.
Yeah, we had 3 Deborahs. It's like Deborah. Oh, yeah, not Deborah Gordon. She's on a different Council. Anyway, it's our pleasure. We have a vision to inspire, connect, and support and empower our practitioners. And we do that to create a sense of community. And we like to facilitate the engagement and with practitioners just worldwide. We try to do it every way we can. And we just feel like it's an honor to do that.
So one of the ways that we engage as practitioners is once a month, February through October, we do what we call a Sensational Saturday. And this is on Zoom, and we feature various other practitioners bringing their passion to the table, sharing their wisdom, their insight. Tracy Brown here presented last year. I know Eugene Holden's in the room. We had a 2-part series with Tracia Wild. I think I remembered your name correctly, where she talked about spirituality, the birth of AI, and how can we use that to benefit our ministries as practitioners, and how to kind of train AI. You know, AI is learning right now. And so when we bring this higher consciousness, we are feeding the love and the light into this. I know my chat GPT knows me and knows that I am science of mind. Last month, we had Heliberto Cano, who presented. I believe he serves out of Washington, D.C. He just moved his license, but I believe he presented from Colombia, and he presented in Spanish. And so for us English as first language speakers, we got the opportunity to hear what our Spanish speaking colleagues get to experience, because we do try to provide Spanish language translation every month. And as was mentioned, you know, it's more than just the translation of the words, it's the translation of the heart. And so if you are a practitioner and you are called to share your gifts and your talents, please contact us, and we'll have contact information at the end, because we would love to feature you.
Love to feature you, and we're always looking to celebrate all our practitioners. We start out every year, the beginning of the year, to just we have a super sensational Saturday, and it is super. This last year we had a full day immersion. It involves we do breakouts, we do meditation, we do music, it's designed to increase our collective field, to strengthen that, not only our connection with each other, but to build this incredible light of consciousness in our movement, as well as all the lives that we touch. Not only within the practitioner, but every light that touches everyone that they meet, everyone that they touch in their personal life as well.
All right, and I'm seeing the clock and we're at time, but we have one more thing we wanted to talk about. And I was in a circle for the leadership information, and somebody mentioned the importance of prayer partners. And this is a program that has kind of been on the down low, and we're going to be really focusing on bringing this forward this next year. But there's a prayer partners program in place. So if you are seeking a prayer partner, and this can be whether you are a member, practitioner, or a minister, if you are looking to connect with someone, we would be happy to facilitate matching you up. It's a matchmaking process. And, you know, and if you don't connect with that particular person, you know, we'll put you back into that offering. So we are offering that as well. And I think our last slide is just how to reach us. So we did start a new Facebook page that is actually inclusive. We are including Agape member practitioners. We have a lot of practitioners, including Deborah Gale, who is rotating off. We're so sad to see Deborah Gale and Deborah Ellis leave us. They are such a treasure. But we have a lot of dual licensed practitioners, and so we're opening that space. So we have the Facebook page, and of course, you could always reach us at practcouncil.org. And so now it is my pleasure to introduce our minister council coming up, Reverend Michelle and Reverend Marquita. Thank you.
Grand Rising. How you doing, CSL? I'm Michelle Senegal, co-chair. And I'm Reverend Marquita Pierre McAllister, co-chair. We represent our Ministers' Council, of course. Oh, come on, y'all can do better than that. Give us some love. All right, all right. Thank you, thank you. Much better, much better. Okay, so first let me introduce our team, because these are some hardworking people. You have Michelle and myself. We also have our secretary, who is Elizabeth Raleigh Hogue. Our treasurer, yep, come on, give it up. Our treasurer, Elzia Sekou. We also have, who serves as a liaison to the Nominating Council, Marilyn Sprague. And our Leadership Council liaison, Stacy Hilton. Yeah. So Michelle, but who are we? What we do? What is it? I think we're supposed to represent the ministers. Oh, yeah, okay. And we're supposed to be advocates for them. Yes, that's true. Okay, I agree with that. We're supposed to support them. Yeah. We're supposed to bring amazing programs to them. Oh, girl, you know we can do that. Oh, yeah. And so that's what we do. However, we had a really big challenge, you all, this year. And we took it upon ourselves to challenge ourselves. It is true. And so what did we take on? Objectifying the path to ordination. Now tell the truth, why we do that? Well, I'll tell you on the next slide. Okay. And so we also endeavored to respond to the expressed needs of our ministers in crisis. And we had such an event this year. And so later on, you're going to find out how we responded to that. So let's talk about the journey. An amazing journey. Amazing journey. We wanted to ensure that the process that we use to say yes or not yet was without bias. In the ordination process, right? Instead of it being subjective. We need to level that playing field so everybody understands what are the standards, what is really expected, and everybody needed to understand that. Absolutely. So, I've served on the Ministers' Council. This is my third time around. And I got to a place, we had gone through a number of packets. One packet alone was 178 pages. It was insane. And so there was a single voice, I will not say who that voice was, of conviction to improve and to change this process. And so folks know me on the council. My background is instructional design, it's HR, it's preparing leaders to evaluate their folks effectively. And I said, you know what? We are playing God. She didn't like that part. Not at all. And this will be the last time we go through this process without a structured framework, without criteria. We are going to establish a rubric. It is true. And so I too, I've been blessed. It's my second time around on Ministers' Council. And I want to say, in all fairness, all goodness to all the people who have served on the Ministers' Council over the years, right? But I kept hearing the same complaint. My God, 80 pages on a doggone minister's report. My God, 90 some odd pages. And we got 10 of them? shoot, how you gonna read all that, right?
I hate to tell you, maybe they'll have about 22, but
Yeah, well, that's true. Yes, but our we finished the CMR process. We've completely revamped that. Now, well, pretty much. So now it's like 20 pages. 20 pages. Although we still have 25 to do coming up, but so much better, so much better.
so much
But
better.
then there was another big challenge we took on. And so the rubric got created, but now how are people going to know how to use this process and why we came up with these standards? So then there was the whole development of the resource manual for this whole thing. Huge. So when I say the people have been working hard on Ministers Council, hard. So we had to establish a subcommittee to do this whole project because the project was much bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And so shout out to those on the subcommittee. I get to chair that subcommittee, but we have people who have been on the Ministers Council before and then others. And I want to say this because this is important. On this subcommittee, every person was represented. By that, I mean all the ministers. So teaching chapters, teaching centers, focus ministries, all the different segments we have were represented on this council, 2 or more. So when we developed this whole thing, it really took into account all the different pieces of ministry that we have at CSL. It wasn't just centers, okay? Yeah, it was real important that we did that so we could have a comprehensive thing coming out here. So working hard, we're almost done.
Yeah, and here's the impact. Our movement is forever changed.
Yes.
Ordination is no longer a murky path,
Right.
but a transparent pilgrimage.
Say it. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. That's the truth. That's the truth.
We ran pilots to include voices from the field. We are developing training, and we've rolled some of that out to equip sponsors and mentors with resources.
And please understand, it's not, like she said, it's not a silo. We have been peer reviewed. So you ministers out there, just know your peers have went through the entire process and gave us some amazing feedback we got from the field and running the pilot program. So we have had to change many things. We did it, right? And then the pilot happened. And then they said, yeah, but you forgot, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, we don't understand. And so then we've had to completely do a whole edit. Ooh, good work. Good work.
So we're not going to say any more about that because all of you are going to be at our presentation called Walking in Wisdom 215.
Right?
Right, when we do the workshops on Thursday. So we don't need to say any more about that. What I do want to let you all know is that we are also starting under the leadership of our Reverend Elizabeth Riley Hogue, a compassionate care subcommittee.
Yeah.
And she's calling for people to help her with that. What does that mean? That means when you all call us, if you have an issue, if you have a challenge, if you have a question, because we don't get nearly enough emails, I just want you to know that, or a phone call. We do not.
Michelle, shh.
But I always have to look at, but why do we exist? We're here for you. And so we did have a cry this year for help. The uprisings in Minnesota, right? Minister had never handled that before. I happen to have an urban ministry. We had uprising in Baltimore often. I kind of have a roadmap. So just shared what we did. And so we are here really to support you all. So please, please, please call upon us. That's why we exist.
That's right. And there's the info. Yes? Yes? All right. Thank you so much.
So much. And now you're dead.
Hi. It's kind of like having a fan club. I am Reverend Dr. Linda Rapond. I'm the chair of the Nominating Council. And I'm going to give you a quick, did I just turn it off? I might have. Okay, you folks back there, can you do this for me? Thank you. The Nominating Council is one of the places in this organization where we demonstrate that we are really committed to the almost lost art of democracy. Indeed, all of our leadership rises up from within the organization and is our candidates that are voted on by you. So when people get into leadership roles on the Leadership Council, the Ministers Council, these people you've been hearing from, it's because they came up from the ground up to say, I want to step forward. And you said, okay, or no, not you. So that's the process. So we are intentionally working to build leaders in this organization, to find the people who want to serve, who are excited about where we're going as an organization and want to step forward and be part of that. That we spend all our time looking for the people, and then we go through a process of screening, vetting, interviewing, and recommending those people for the roles that you are voting on at this convention if you are a delegate. Here's what I want to say. I know I've been hearing from people like, we don't have many choices. We had a lot more choices. We had candidates for every role. And as we moved through the interview process, people stepped away. It's kind of disappointing, but kind of a good thing if they figure it out by their own discernment that this is not for me. Better to know then. But what I want to say is we believe in having people have choices. That if we have multiple candidates for every slot, you have choices. The people that get elected know they were elected because you wanted them to. So I just want to ask you to bring forward people. How you do that is you self-nominate. So if you have somebody you'd like to see in leadership, go talk to them. Ask them to nominate themselves. So I'm going to carry you through. Keep going. That one. How we're made up is we have one representative from each of the councils you just heard from the member council, the practitioner council, the minister council, and the leadership council. We also have a representative from the DEI committee. And so that's the body. And so I'm the only person that's elected by you to be on this committee. But we get those people who've been elected by you on other councils already. We are in this process all year long. One more. Maybe too far. We are in this process all year long. We actually start actively the nominations process in August. So you will in August be nominating people into September. We interview people in October and start recommending candidates to the Leadership Council in the November, December timeframe. So we have time now to talk about it. If you're thinking maybe, come talk to one of us. Okay, next slide. This is the nominating council for this year. It is Dr. Deborah Gordon from Leadership Council, Deborah Ellis. We got a Deb and Deb too, from the Practitioner Council, Robert Leeds from the Membership Council, Reverend Marilyn Sprague from the Ministers Council, and Reverend Christine Monks from the DEI Committee. They're an awesome team. I have really completely enjoyed working with them. So as you approach your ballot, when the end of the business session today, we will start the voting. It will end, Ty, help me out, I think at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and you'll hear the results tomorrow night. Just take it into prayer and choose your leadership for next year. Thank you so much.
All right, now it's time for lunch. So yes, so lunch will be right there in the gathering place. You probably saw it there. It's a buffet. It will be there until 1:15. So we are going to come back here in 1:15 and you can eat in that room. There is additional space in Tuscany 3 and 9. And so if you will give me the honor, I would love to join us in treatment before we go for lunch together. So know with me that there is only one power, one presence, one life. That life is spirit, and that life is our life right here and right now. That power goes before and through us, blessing the bounty of the food that we are about to receive and everything that was necessary for it to come together for our betterment and our nourishment. I give grateful thanks for this goodness I allow it to be so, and so it is. Back at 1:15.